Guess what? I'm back. Welcome back if this is your not your first time with me at Southern Lightwork. I just did a reading, but I went to feed myself because I haven't eaten all day besides junk and coffee. Because I finally perfected my donuts, y'all. You don't even understand. I have no business making them, but they came out perfect. I used bread flour instead of all-purpose flour, and I'm proud of myself. The glaze, not so much, but I'm being real domestic these days. So I was trying to hurry up and finish eating because I felt like there was something else coming. There was something else in the energy. And then I thought, like, what about a reading that's like a love letter from the divine feminine to the divine masculine, the other way around? Because the last one I did was like energy read for the masculine, but then as I was standing up eating at the counter, the TV was on for my mom, and a commercial came on, and the song in the background was a cover of Luther Vandross' Never Too Much. And if you are old enough to know, that song still goes hard, and I still listen to it often because it's on my bass practice list, like my practice playlist on Spotify. So this is not an ad for Spotify. They're not paying me. But yeah, it's been something I've listened to recently a lot because it comes up on that list in the shuffle. But that song just reminded me, like, look up those lyrics because I know them and I've been listening to it for so long that I think I kind of detached from them because I'm so focused on the music, the composition. But when I look these lyrics up, and my perspective, even though, in life, Luther was a assigned male at birth, he was questionably, not so questionably, gay. But it was like, okay, there's potential that one of these verses could be from the masculine and the other one is from the feminine. And so when I read them over, that's exactly what they sounded like. So let me read the first verse. And this song is almost more than 40 years old, from 1981. So, I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list because I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my daydreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in. That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come in. Does that not sound like a divine masculine who's warming up to telling his divine feminine how he truly feels? And, like really accepting that she's opened her heart to him. And forget the gender, forget the pronouns. Take this as it resonates for you and your situation. And the chorus is, oh, my love. I've always said, all my love. I thought that's what he was saying. Oh, my love. 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't want to stop. Oh, my love. 1,000,000 days in your arms is never too much. I just don't want to stop. Too much. Never too much. Never too much. Never too much. And that right there is giving me past life energy. Like 1,000,000 days in your arms is never too much. Of course, this is a past life love. Past lives love. You don't have 1,000,000 days to spend with each other. I don't think. I haven't done the math, but I don't believe we get 1,000,000 days in this life. Let's just do it. And yeah, it's not my strong suit, so don't talk about me if I do this wrong. But if I calculate... All right, y'all. I had to redeem myself because the equation I did when I recorded this was all wrong. What I should have done was multiplying somebody's hypothetical lifespan of, say, 80 years by 365. That gives you 29,200 days. And then even if somebody lives to 100, that's 36,500 days. Nowhere near 1 million. And that's even if you hug somebody all day for 24 hours for all of those all of those days. This is definitely about multiple lifetimes of hugging somebody. So yeah, take that. So anyway, second verse. This one can be from the feminine to the masculine, right? Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. I called you up, but you weren't there, and I was brokenhearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late, the boss is so demanding. Open the door up, and to my surprise, there you were standing. Well, you need... Let me try that again. My throat chakra together. Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. I'm also thinking like how he sings it in the cadence that he sings it. Because I don't know what my voice is going to sound like, so don't hold it against me. Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. I called you up, but you weren't there, and I was brokenhearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late, the boss is so demanding. Opened the door up, and to my surprise, there you were standing. Well, who needs to go to work to hustle for another dollar? I'd rather be with you, 'cause you make my heart scream and holler. Love is a gamble, I'm so glad that I am... And I'm so glad I'm winning. We've come a long way, and yet this is only the beginning. Oh, my love. 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Oh, my love. Y'all know the song. You know how Luther tears it up, right? So this feminine's... Now that I've decided this is the feminine's verse, is that not chaser energy? I called you, you weren't there. I was brokenhearted, hung up the phone. I gotta go to work. I gotta get back to my life. And who's not? Everybody's hustling for another dollar, but I'd rather be with you. I'd rather quit my job, only think about you, you know? And in the twin flame dynamic, the divine masculine, divine feminine dynamic, a traditional relationship, there is the feminine that takes care of home. The masculine goes out in the 3D world and makes the money, right? Regardless of your feminist views, your, I don't know, what other views that dictate how you're in a relationship, but this is only the beginning, you know? So if the feminine is feeling like you're finally accepting my love, and we've only scratched the surface. I've only told you a little bit, right? Like I've only expressed a little bit of my love. I haven't given you the depths of it. I haven't shown that to you. The masculine hasn't either. So I'm gonna go on these cards and I'm gonna see what the feminine has yet to tell the masculine that will probably be reserved until their next face-to-face meeting. You're in separation, right? So this is for folks who are in separation. And I want to get some from my divinely guided to me decks. This one that I had ordered a whole different deck, and they sent me the wrong one twice. But, you know, the wrong one is relative because I'm making the most out of these cards. The Burning Heart Love Oracle. And this is the deck I've just handwritten on myself, the Divine Feminine cards, and they're numbered versus the other one is now my Divine Masculine deck. So these are, by my intention, these are messages from the Divine Feminine. And let's see what we got. I'm going to get some more messages from the Love Oracle and the This Might Hurt Tarot deck for some advice. So let's see. Advice or just guidance on next steps for the masculine, depending on what this message is from the feminine. You can hear that high pitched note out there. I got some gospel music playing for my mom. I can hear it, so I think the mic might be picking it up. And still, everything that happens in readings is significant. So some feminines out there are ready to sing. And I mean, this is the first time well, it's not the first time, but that I intentionally sang more than a few lines of a song, because I'm sensitive about my voice, and it's something I think I'm being called to stop stifling, even though I'm not Whitney Houston. Okay, I know that, but because Whitney Houston was Whitney Houston, there will never be another, ever. But my voice is my voice, and I'm trying to embrace it and stop cowering, play instruments too, so, and musicians often withhold their singing voice for insecurities and things like that, so that could be part of what the divine feminine is dealing with too, is just finding her voice and trusting her voice, their voice, saying what they need to say to themselves first, and then to the rest of the world, and to their masculine ultimately. So let's see, what burning love heart messages does the feminine want to say to the masculine? I keep wanting to say masculine. That's not how I talk. Why am I saying masculine? Masculine. We're meant to be together. I will wait as long as it takes for a shot with you. Clear as day. What else does the feminine want to say? And that is a 53. That's an 8. This is a 4. I'm scared you'll reject me. Okay. What else? I know that we have a soul connection. So this is that fear that plagues connections like this, where there's so little confirmation, there's very little reassurance, if any at all, that sometimes you're relying on synchronicities and signs from the universe that you hope are telling you that you're not batshit crazy. But, it's just like all signs point to you'll be rejected. If you are only going by what society tells you, what the 3D messages, things that you see online, if you only go by that and you stop trusting yourself, or you never trust yourself, then you will stay in this energy. And this is a 5. I know that we have a soul connection. That 5 is about change. In the tarot, it's about conflict too. But if you know we have a soul connection, the feminine knows there's a soul connection, then I don't know why it doesn't say this at all, but I'm feeling that that's like non-negotiable. Like, it's undeniable. The feminine knows that. The masculine is coming around to it. Feminines lead. They lead the spiritual growth and ascension. So if the masculine is there, which I just pulled in my last reading, the masculines are there. They're ready to receive their 2 of Cups. That means the feminine has been there. The feminine is ready. The feminine is ready for the masculine. So the messages that they have for their masculine, maybe there's still some remnants of this fear, but these are sure. They're positive. They know exactly what they want. Bottom of the deck, what they may have the hardest time saying to the masculine is, you tame my demons. That's not hard to say. Well, it may be hard for some people to say. And that's a 22. That's a divine, definitely a twin flame synchronicity. Or is that the right word? Synchronicity? I think so. You tame my demons. And always keep in mind, divine counterparts mirror each other, so these feelings are shared. But when there's no confirmation, one questions how the other feels endlessly until there's union, until you can actually see each other face to face and confirm everything you've been feeling, thinking. It's more about feeling than anything. There is so very little in the 3D that Makes you feel like you know what you're talking about. You know, but you're not sure, but you know. Right? Sorry, I'm sipping my drink. Okay. So let's see what this love oracle has to say about this feminine's thoughts and feelings. If she could talk to her masculine right now, but she might let them know. But they might. I'm trying to get better about my language, so I'm not using he and she. So I want this to resonate for whoever is watching. Even if not all of it does, I want something to. I mean, I'm not trying to force it. You get what I'm saying. But I don't want people to turn away or click off because I'm using he and she, and that's absolutely not who I'm only talking to. People that use he, she pronouns. There we go. Let's see. Alright, last shuffle. Just feeling this. I just felt really breathless for a second. Somebody's really anxious. Okay. Alright, let this pass. Somebody is really, really anxious. Okay. One more shuffle off of that. Spirit, please show us any messages that might be relevant for this collective. Messages from the feminine to the masculine. Heart fog. I have pulled this card twice for the masculine. Mixed signals, blocked emotions, messed up. So maybe there still is some blockages that the feminine is dealing with. Some emotional blockages. And maybe some twinge of guilt. But mind you, like, this is at the stage where both have healed to a level that union is possible. But this mixed signals is probably the only thing that's keeping the feminine from feeling like everything is a go. You know, like going all in. Not that they're not sure about their masculine, but just the mixed signals are probably reminiscent of past karmic relationships, right? Like, they might be trying really hard not to lump the masculine, their divine masculine, in with previous distorted masculines or distorted feminines, you know, just and that's platonic or romantic relationships. As this spiritual journey, this spiritual ascension requires that you examine everything. When you hear folks talk about like being under judgment, letting yourself be under judgment, it's about everything, not just your romantic relationships. When you got dumped, or when you dumped somebody else, or something that just didn't go well, or something you cheated versus the other person cheated, like, you know, the whatever you're dealing with. This is calling you, this process calls you to own all of your shit. All of it. Not bits and pieces, but all of it. What makes you who you are? What is your character? I think about that. Van Hunt song, Character, where he's basically like, it's one of my favorite songs. He's like, who are you? In the face of disappointment, what is your character? The one that keeps you going. You know, like, you can put on a mask and pretend to be something or have this energy for everybody all day long. But who are you underneath all that? When things don't go your way, when things get hard, when you don't have the answers, when you can't use your expertise. I mean, my answer is I go to God for one thing before anything else now. But it's, how do you treat people? How do you treat yourself first and foremost? When you disappoint yourself, when you don't accomplish something. So this requires all of that examination, re-examination. So mixed signals, and and this could be the mixed signals that the feminine is sending off too. Just like, we're meant to be together, but my past hurt still kind of messes with me because I don't have the confirmation. But that's what the feminine is wanting to clear up, is if my behavior has given any indication that I'm not sure, we got to talk about it. Right? When we talk about it, everything will be cleared up. What about I'm scared you'll reject me? Clinging, holding on, obsessing, and spying. That's absolutely chaser, like that verse. Yeah, I called you, you didn't answer, so my mind went racing. I was jumping to conclusions. I made all kinds of assumptions, and that's clingy behavior. When you are attaching to, it's an anxious attachment. And this is a creepy looking card, but you do suffocate yourself. You suffocate yourself when you obsess about someone, about a connection, about something that you don't have confirmation for. So, feeling afraid of rejection because of past rejections, or because of not feeling secure enough, not loving yourself enough. Until you get there, you will be scared of rejection and find yourself being clingy. And again, until the feminine does as much as they need to do to heal, the masculine is going to mirror that. Is going to mirror the same unhealed behavior, the same stagnant patterns of growth or non-growth. So, this is probably what was happening in the past that the feminine wants to explain. I know that we have a soul connection. Clarity, of course. The clarity is here, truth and intentions and honesty. There's a lens, a crystal clear camera lens on this card, and it's purple. You could be drawn to the violet flame, which is absolutely part of the lore of twin flame connections. Or just the color purple, period. The movie The Color Purple, because I watch it at least once a year because it's on TV all the time. The feminine knows that there is a soul connection. Like if the masculine is wondering, if the feminine feels the same way, if the masculine feels unsure, like I can't tell, or they're afraid of rejection because they're mirroring and I don't know how they feel. Feminine, I don't know how they feel. You both know that you have a soul connection. The feminine is saying it, like, I know it. I don't hope. I know we have a soul connection. And at the bottom of this deck, withdrawn, single, lonely, and solitary. Yep. Sound like dark night of the soul behavior to me. But it feels like this is part of the explanation. This is part of what the feminine would tell the masculine. That's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. If the masculine worries that the feminine has been dating somebody else or falling in love with someone else. Look, you can settle for anything. But if you're in a divine connection like this, a twin flame connection, you don't replace your divine masculine. That's impossible. They cannot be replaced. And this is not to say that you can't have love elsewhere. I mean, that's not what I mean. It has to be your twin. It has to be this divine counterpart. Because a lot of times people don't come together in this life. They have other karmic contracts they need to close out, or they're not meant to be in a romantic relationship. I haven't met any twins yet that I just lost my train of thought. Haven't met or looked up twins that know of each other but are not coming together romantically. The closest I came to that was this woman I got a reading with, somebody local here in Georgia, and she says that she's in like a full-blown romantic relationship with someone who knows she has a twin. but she didn't give me any indication that like she ever wants to be with her twin, or that she's accepted that they're not supposed to be together romantically. She's just like, my partner knows I have a twin. And even when like certain songs come on the we're sitting in a restaurant and the song comes over the speaker, and she's like, my partner knows that's my twin flame and my song. Like, it's just an accepted thing. So there's all kinds of dynamics. This one right here though, we're talking about people that want to be together, people that want to be in union, and have been scared, but they've been withdrawn and allowing their connection to help them tame their demons. You know? And take that as it resonates. Demons can be anything. Anything that causes you to obsess, that causes self-neglect, that causes self-sabotage, just doing things to yourself that are not loving. And that's as simple as like not cleaning your house. Like, people have all kinds of standards of cleanliness, but if you don't clean up where you live, even if it's just to your standard, whatever your standard is, if that's clutter but not dirty, like, or I mop the floors but I have a lot of stuff, whatever that is, whatever clean is to you, I'll say that that's self-neglect. Like, do things for yourself that are good for you, that make you happy, that help you to be whole and satisfied. And clearing clutter actually helps your brain function better. Like, it's not just my opinion, it's scientific. There's scientific proof behind it. Yeah, so there's a whole lot more to be said between the feminine and the masculine, but we're on the brink of it. I'm going to ask for tarot on just what's next, or what is the guidance for King of Swords. And it came out and turned to the right, so it's forward movement. Swords are about mental clarity. Absolutely mental clarity. We're talking about a king. This is not a page. It's not a two of swords where a decision is hard to make. This is a king of swords. And look what they're holding, a hawk. Hawks, eagles, these birds of prey are all about seeing the bigger picture, right? So the heart fog mixed signals going to the King of Swords is, I got all the clarity I need. I can see from the bird's eye view. And this also makes me think about the King of Swords card in the Light Seers tarot deck. Is both the King and the Queen of Swords are like sitting on mountaintops. Like, they are way, way above everything else. They're above all of the noise, they're above the chatter, they're above the struggles. They have climbed the mountain. And this one right here, like, in a wheelchair, even though this person is wheelchair bound, even though there's some obstacle or there's something that makes things different for me, things that I've been through that have almost incapacitated me, that have nearly broken me. I'm wounded, but I'm still a King of Swords. I may have limited abilities in certain things, but I still have this hawk at my disposal. I have my sword up, and I got my crown. That is overcoming heart fog to me. And any mixed signals there. Feminine is ready to talk. And to talk about serious things. Like, this is no nonsense. Suffer no fools. I got here because I've been through something, and I have my boundaries, but I'm also open. That's where feminine is at. What else? Okay, get one upright and one on the table. So I'm taking them both. 5 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. Yeah. So we're going from this fear of rejection and clingy behavior, this chaser energy, to the 5 of Swords, winning at all costs, and 2 of Cups. And even though, there's the traditional explanations for these cards, but this is also giving me like, forget the rejection. Like, whatever you do, I'll be okay. Because I'm winning because I have all of the swords. I have all of the things that I need to say. So I'm seeing this as like, I've gathered my thoughts. I've probably practiced what I'm going to say too. Feminines do that too, not just masculines. Quiet as a skit. Just like, I know what I'll say if you tell me no, if you reject me. But this is what I want. And this is how I see you. Feminine sees the masculine as their 2 of I just pulled that in the last reading I did. That's part of the title. It's like, you are my 2 of Cups. I know I want to tell you that now. I've done everything I've done to this point. Cut everybody off. There is nobody else competing for me. Like, it's you I see. And this image is pretty significant for me, but they want to hold you like this. Wherever you fit in this dynamic, if there's a height difference or not, but however you see yourself and your person, this is how they want to hold you. This is how the feminine wants to hold you and to be held. Yeah. Now forgive the pauses. I'm really just like trying to let this energy move through me. I want to cry. I want to scream. I want to laugh. I still feel kind of anxious. My heart seems to be racing, but feminines hold a lot of energy, emotions. Especially when feminines are guided to like stop chasing and to just let the masculine do what they need to do. And it's like, well, there's a whole lot that they're not saying. Whole lot that feminines stop saying out loud because they're giving their masculine grace when you've healed enough that you can allow that and not let it drive you crazy or keep you up at night or put your life on hold. That is growth. That's progress. What else, Spirit? Page of Pentacles. This came out in the last reading too. This is mirroring energy. Like, the masculine has something they want to share with the feminine. The feminine has something that they want to share with the masculine about this new beginning, right? Like, it's not an Ace of Pentacles, but it's a message about maybe something that you've accomplished on your own. Something that it feels like, now I'm just kind of like combining the two readings together, but the Page of Pentacles feels like, I want to tell you what I've been working on. Like the masculine wants to tell the feminine and vice versa. The feminine definitely wants to tell the masculine. We have a soul connection. I'm clear on it, and I want to tell you what I've been working on. So it could be about this journey, about what it's been like, what they're still going through, what they still have yet to go through, and don't even know what's coming. But I just want you to know, because we have that soul connection, you both know that the other will understand. Like, it's not going to be something you have to plead about or like defend yourself. It's just going to be a back and forth. It's going to be an equal exchange. It's going to be probably one of the best conversations you've ever had. Just If you're an anxious person, you have been in situations or relationships before that have made you so anxious. That have made you so anxious and so suspicious, and you know you're being lied to, or you know that it's one-sided, or it's just unequal, like one of you loves the other more than giving more than the other, and just so many imbalanced attempts at connections, that to know that like this is gonna be, you're gonna be received. The feminine wants the masculine to know that you will be received in the same way that they want to be received, completely, without judgment, for exactly who you are. And this is also like when you hear all these people talk about, well, what are you bringing to the table? I hate when I get it, but then it also irritates me because it's been weaponized by so many people, like as an excuse to not give to someone because they don't bring what you bring. You're not supposed to bring the same thing to the table. You're not the same person. And forget the masculine, feminine roles and gender norms and all that shit. Like the traditional, you can be traditional without being condescending, patriarchal, misogynistic. Like there's, regardless of gender, whether you are two women, two men, transgender folks, like it doesn't matter. Like traditional roles are not oppressive. They're not. Because if it's a divine connection, you fall into your role naturally and you want to be there. So it's the patriarchy that's taught us that it should be the person with a vagina in the kitchen and the person with a penis in the road in the in the office going to work. Like that's not necessarily the case. You can be in a traditional relationship with the person with the penis in the kitchen and the person with the vagina out going to work, if that's what works for you. If the woman is the masculine energy and the man is the feminine energy, if that works, do it. If you're non-binary, figure out whose energy wants to be where. And it's a decision. It's not a dictatorship. I'm not telling my feminine that she or he has to, or they have to do anything, and vice versa. That's what you learn on this journey, is that all of that is just noise, and it sets people up for divisive partnerships. You're under the same roof and you can't get along, you can't talk, you can't agree on anything because nobody knows what they're supposed to do. It's just, you're competing. There's competition. There is condescension. There is like laziness. Maybe somebody doesn't want to do what they've agreed to do, what they said they want to do. That's confusing, right? Like you said you want to be in this relationship, you said you want to fulfill this role, and then we get here and you're nothing like you said you would be. So feminines are just as afraid of repeating cycles as the masculine. But once you've gotten to the point where you've been able to heal, you've withdrawn, you've been single, you on purpose, then you really give yourself a chance. Just like fasting, you give your digestive system a break. When you take a break from dating, you give your dating muscle or your relationship muscle a break. Like you give yourself a chance to really get to know yourself. Because if you hop from one to the next, you have no idea who you are and what you want. You're probably just comparing each one to the last one. What good does that do when you don't even know what you want because you haven't spent a single moment alone? So stop clinging. Feminine is saying, I'm done with this behavior. I'm not doing that anymore. Ooh, I know I'm talking a lot, but it's coming. So I had a feeling this. I saw this card when I pulled this deck out. This is the this might hurt, this might heal card in this deck. It's the bonus card and it's infinity, but it's upright. Because see how this feminine is in the upright is hugging the wolf. And they look divine and happy and peaceful. Like taming the wolf. You tame my demons. Feminine is saying, I have tamed the wolf within me. The wild wolf. It's not getting the best of me. I'm not fighting myself. I'm not resisting. I've surrendered. The wolf has surrendered. And that's what's so beautiful about this, is that when you allow yourself to surrender, then there's so many rewards when you surrender. Truly. And, you know, female-bodied people in this society are vilified for certain things, and male-bodied people in this society are vilified for other things, and people just take each other at face value and don't dig deeper. Because you're just like the other ones. You've shown me, or I've just assumed, you've shown me one little thing, and I'd run with it and decide that you're just like everybody else. This feminine is saying, I don't subscribe to that anymore. I don't allow that to cloud my judgment. I'm the King of Swords. I'm getting to the king is not distorted masculine. That is healed masculine energy for this feminine. Let me just say that too. I definitely had to heal my masculine side. I had to. Because it was putting me in a place where I was taking care of everybody who didn't ask me to take care of them, and neglecting myself, and completely stamping out, snuffing out my feminine side. And not only was it putting me at odds with people that I dated, but it was robbing me of my feminine energy, really understanding what that was and what it meant, and that it didn't mean weakness, that it didn't mean, I mean, and to ask me, I never would have thought that am I really afraid of feeling weak? And in some ways, yes, but it was more so about like surrendering and being open to receive love and everything else. A lot of us just harden ourselves because we've been hurt so much, and we don't lash out at people. We just internalize it. It comes the wrong direction. It goes within, and eventually it will implode if you don't face it and deal with it and heal it. And you will not be happy in any relationship if you don't heal both sides, your masculine and your feminine. Tame the wolf. Tame the demons. Helping each other tame your demons. You know you have a soul connection. You've been afraid of rejection, but you're both in a place where you're ready to talk about it because you want to tell each other. The feminine definitely wants to tell you you are their Two of Cups. They see it all with you. I mean, and what better than to have a nice hug and a warm cup of coffee? They look like candles too, but they're definitely like to-go cups. Like, I love you. Thank you for getting me coffee. I know I would be. I'd love that for somebody to just get me coffee. It's just a simple thing. It's, like feminine just feels like masculine thinks it needs to be so grand and amazing, and they're just like, I just give me a donut. I gotta get off these donuts, but like, that's it. It can be so. It could all be so simple. It could all be so simple. Lauryn Hill, X Factor. All right, couple charms. Well, let's get three. 3 charms for this collective. I love being in this energy that feels balanced and loving. Heart. Yeah, there is so much self-love. That is the most important. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress enough how self-love is the antidote for everything. Love itself heals everything. But self-love, when you lead with that, let me tell you how much easier it is to forgive people that have hurt you, or to forgive and move on. Not even to forgive and let back, but just like forgive and move on. It's so freeing. There's nothing like it. Especially when you've been denying yourself for a very long time. And as I was just talking about high vibrational stuff, there's a rose. I guess it's a rose. It's like a flower, but a flower with a key. Feminine wants to give the masculine the key. The key to their... Just got a little racy message, but the key to their flower. Just high vibrational access to them, like to give you access with a key. Here it is. I trust you. I trust that whatever you decide, I can live with. I wanted to go a certain way, but I'm giving you access. That's one of the hardest things when you're afraid of rejection, is to like leave yourself vulnerable, right? To leave yourself open. As feminine is okay being vulnerable to you, to the masculine. Because they know you have a soul connection. They're just anticipating that you're going to say that you feel the same way. One more. Slow and steady wins the race. I keep pulling snails and things with shells. This is like the last reading. There was a card with a fairy in the Enchanted Map Oracle. A fairy with a shell. That was slow and steady wins the race. And here we are getting the same thing for the feminine. Yeah, these things cannot be rushed. This healing, this journey cannot be rushed. No matter what you do, no matter how much you will it, you pray for it, you cry and kick and scream, like it doesn't happen on your timeline. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And the quicker you accept that, surrender to that, the better you'll feel. When you realize that God's timing is the best timing. Accept that, truly accept it. And carry on with your life. Do what you have to do. Work on your page of like your pinnacle, whatever your pinnacle is. Whatever your idea, your plan, your goal. Focus on that. Because you've got the clarity. You know that there's a soul connection. So all you do is just allow it to happen. In its own time. I want to pull one more time. One more, please. Another key. Okay, so you got access to the top floor, the bottom floor. Let me stop because I have the mind of a 12-year-old. This looks like... Actually, it looks like another flower. All these keys with flowers. Okay, I might be doing an 18+ reading because I'm getting some stuff right now that I'm not gonna say in this one. You're my first 18+, I think. But now I'm on a roll, so I guess I'm gonna stay on this roll. More access. More access. The feminine is so open and so vulnerable right now to the masculine that, like, hard to quantify, but only thing left to do is come together. So y'all go ahead and do that. It will happen in divine timing. That divine timing feels real imminent right now. It feels really, really imminent. So I think that this is a fantastic feeling, for one thing, even with the anxiety. Anxiety is a part of life. It really is. There's no way around it. But this feels like a yes. Now I'm hearing flowetry. Say yes. All you got to do is say yes. ask. If it's the masculine that asks, feminine's going to say yes. Feminine is going to say yes. And feminine and your masculine is also going to say yes. So, thanks for watching, y'all. This is really encouraging. I hope you feel encouraged. It's about time, right? So, yeah, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for watching. It's my imagination to yours.